one of the things I'd learned was how proud Koreans are of their country and have been for so long. You know, I think because their history is one filled with colonization and war, they take immense pride in the fact that over two short generations, they went from a third world country to one that leads the world in so many industries. And things like K-pop now and K-food and K-beauty and K-drama, they've now emerged as focal points in global culture. And so they're rightfully very proud of that.
Take me back to the world sort of pre-K-pop, pre-Gangnam Style, pre-Psy and all of that. What was it like for you as a Korean American actor in Hollywood in a place where I think a lot of Asian American actors felt very much othered? I imagine given very stereotypical roles, be it, oh, you're Asian, therefore you are going to play a martial artist, or you're going to play sort of laundromat owner, or convenience store owner, or whatever.
The awareness of Korea and Asian actors and Asian American actors has grown a lot since the time I started. I don't know why I started, you know, when I think about the odds of success as a person who looks like me, and that was the 1990s. But, you know, I was young enough to like hope and dream, and whether it was foolish or against the odds, it didn't matter. I wanted to express myself in the way that I thought I was equipped to do. And so I'm happy and very fortunate that, you know, I was able to make a career through those difficult times and come through to a place now where I can talk about the convergence of Korean and American culture in a way that it's widely respected.
At what point did you embrace being different?
That's a really good question. I never stopped embracing my heritage, despite...
There was no point where you wanted to be white or you wished that you weren't different?
Absolutely. You know, I was never not proud of being Korean, but there were times where I thought I wished I was white, you know, because I remember very distinctly in junior high school, in high school, where, you know, all the stereotypes that you mentioned earlier applied to someone who looked like me. It led to, you know, feelings of rejection that I couldn't really figure out why. And so I would look at myself in the mirror at times and go, what's wrong with this face? You know, why is this face considered ugly? And these are things that I think most teenagers ask themselves because, you know, being a teenager is hard, you know. But for me, I had that additional layer. Is it because, you know, I'm Asian, you know? So that's all true. And at the same time, I was always fiercely proud to come from the family that I did. And I never lost that sense of pride.
You know, when you are one of the few super successful sort of Korean American actors,
that's
that
very
comes
nice.
with...
I don't know if that's true, but thank you for saying that.
I mean, honestly, I feel as though that does come with responsibility when you are one of the few. You know, people expect you to be a role. I mean, just talk to us about what that means for you, just in terms of being a role model to other young Korean Americans as well. And, you know, there's a responsibility that, to be honest, white actors do not carry. So give us your take on that.
Yeah, I mean, that's a phenomenon called the burden of representation. You know, whenever you're the first of something, you carry the hopes and dreams of that entire segment of people, and they want you to be all things. And in many ways, that's unfair to that one person because you are exactly that, limited to the experiences of your own history and your own upbringing and who you are. And to say that you now represent everyone of that culture is a very difficult weight to bear for many people. At the same time, you know, it is a privilege to be the first of something. If you can say, like, it's because of this person that another group of people succeeded in a different way, then that's a real positive. Like for me, you know, people like Bruce Lee, you know, I'm nothing like Bruce Lee, and at the same time, his level of success is something that told me that I could achieve. We don't get to determine whether we are a role model for another person. Only they get to determine that. And so I'm very cognizant of that and the choices that I make, and I have been, I think, since I started my career, because I do feel like, you know, we have had the experience of being stereotyped and diminished and minimized and made to feel invisible. And so every project I take on, every effort that I make is to create visibility for all of us.